students about life, relationships, about the past, present, and future, and helping them make sense of their struggles, their heartbreaks, their joys, and their celebrations. Educators are asked to help students through some of their most formative years of life, which is why they're often the greatest influence in a young person's life. Educators play a critical role in shaping the future of the students, right from creche to university and beyond. They impart knowledge, they teach us about ethics and morals, and teachers truly shape our personalities and our thought processes. A world without you would be utterly chaotic. There are few people in our lives who impact us as much and significantly as teachers do. So I'd like to share some of the meaningful moments and interactions I've had with educators and the lessons I've learned from them. The most important lesson by far, never trust an atom. They make up everything. When I was a high school student, many moons ago, one of the educators at school was my debating coach. Unfortunately, she wasn't one of my subject teachers, but I had the privilege of being under her wing for 4 years in relation to my debating activities. Ms. Govender was very young when she joined our school staff. She was probably in her 20s at the time. But she was able to form such beautiful relationships with every person in the debating team. We formed a bond of trust and respect with her, to the extent that our parents entrusted us to her care for an international debating trip to Germany. And this was to represent Africa at a European debating championship. Looking back now, I can only imagine how stressful that was for her, to be completely responsible for a group of teenagers in a foreign country where a number of unexpected events crop up. We had flight delays, we had overnight layovers that weren't expected in a different country. Our luggage was lost at an airport where nobody spoke English. We were split up for accommodation. We worried about whether or not we had enough money for food expenses because we truly did not realize the cost of food in Germany. We were openly stared at and talked about because we were the only people of color participating in the tournament. Worst of all, a clogged toilet in a guest house. I won't bog you down with the details, but Ms. Governor didn't hesitate to find a mop and solve the problem herself. Amongst all this chaos, she also resolved conflict within our debating team. She made sure we were able to purchase souvenirs to bring home. She kept our spirits up. She kept us motivated for every single debate. She attended every debate and cheered for us. She kept our visas and passports safe. And she proudly represented our school and, in fact, our continent at the prize-giving ceremony for this tournament. Ms. Govender also shared her packed lunches with us, her snacks when we were traveling locally for debating tournaments. She ensured that we were recognized within school for our achievements at the tournaments, and she never once showed us any stress or tension or worry that she had. You all know how exhausting it is just to manage your daily workload and responsibilities as an educator, leave alone tending to a large group of learners who are all demanding your attention and help with extracurricular activities. To this day, I have immense trust and respect for Ms. Govender. She has a very special place in my heart. I will never forget how cared for we felt when we were with her, how joyful she made us during our debating activities, how selfless she was in her intentions for us and her efforts, and how easy she made it to confide in her and ask for help and advice when it was needed. This is the beauty of educators, and especially women in my life. The fact that I was even in the debating team in the first place can be attributed to another teacher, Mrs. Gopalan. She actually identified my potential and encouraged me to try out for the team. And that became one of my biggest sources of joy. It helped me grow my confidence, my ability to speak publicly. And it paved the way for my current career as an attorney. It was truly something life-changing. And it stemmed from something as simple as my English teacher saying, "You'll probably be really good at this, just give it a try. The worst that will happen is that you don't join the team." I come from a family of 3 children, got 2 brothers in the mix, like Mrs. Mulisami said. Another fond memory I have is my younger brother's form teacher, Ms. Indralal. He was in grade 4, I was in grade 6 in primary school. We'd all just moved schools at the time, so my older brother Shay was in a different school in high school, and he was being bullied at the time. We didn't know what was going on, but we noticed he'd become very distant, he was snappy and short-fused, and it upset Carl a lot at the time. As brothers, they were obviously very close, so to see this change in our older brother was very disturbing. And one afternoon, Ms. Indralal called us in she basically had a counseling session with us. She observed that Carl was miserable and distracted in class. And so she asked us what was wrong. She figured out from what we told her that there was obviously something else going on that we didn't know, and gave us a lot of comfort and perspective at the time, which helped us forgive our brother when he was snappy with us, but also be more loving and caring and supportive at home. In high school, that same older brother had an amazing educator who was known for treating all her students like her very own children. I think her own children may have been a little bit jealous. I can attest to this myself. There were times where as a kid I'd say to my mom, but I'm your daughter, that's not your daughter. But she had such a great influence on my older brother. She instilled such passion, not only for her subject matter, but for life. And she reminded him in particular of his roots and what was truly important to him. They are still in contact 16 years after he finished matric. And to the extent that she was asked to give a speech at his wedding because of the level of respect that he has for her still. I've had some amazing mentors in university and the workplace who took an interest in me, my passions, my personality, and my potential for growth and success. To me, teachers like this truly embody the principle of in loco parentis, acting in the place of a parent. They not only assume legal responsibility for the children in their care, but also the ethical and moral responsibility to ensure that we understood the world around us and we grew to be good, successful people. This is the beauty of the role willingly fulfilled by educators such as yourselves. A teacher is not simply a professional. You're our friends. You prepare us for the real world. You want nothing but to see us happy, successful, and unbeaten. And when we face hardships, a true teacher is always there to get us up and going. That teacher can be a close friend, our parents, maybe a doting uncle, a grandparent, but teachers truly deserve a lot of credit. Of course, if we paid you more, you wouldn't need that much credit. But I am particularly blessed to have two amazing educators as parents. My dad was a deputy principal at the time that he retired, and he has always demonstrated excellent leadership and initiative. Like Mrs. Munisami mentioned, he was a freedom fighter during apartheid. He was detained and tortured by the apartheid government for lengthy periods of time. My mom as well was also detained. My dad's resilience throughout all of that, his passion for justice and for serving the interests of the community, has filtered down to his students and to my siblings and I. He frequently has students contacting him on Facebook to tell him how he changed their lives with simple lessons and gestures at school. Sometimes my brothers and I are a little bit surprised to hear this and how much his students admired him because, of course, educators have very different standards for their own children compared to their students. I distinctly remember our school awards ceremony when I was in grade 8, and I had gotten the award for arts and culture. And on our way home, instead of saying congratulations or well done, my dad's question was why I didn't get the award for maths and science and languages. He also once asked me where the other 4% had disappeared when I got 96% for maths. It sounds harsh, but as an adult, I am so grateful for the standards that my parents set for me because it ultimately helped me succeed at my chosen career and live a comfortable life. I know my path would have been so much more difficult to traverse if I had not been successful academically. My dad's also an incredible inspiration when it comes to health and fitness, which I'll talk about shortly. But his involvement with civil society organizations truly stands out. Despite being retired, he's actively involved in organizations that are geared towards civil service, and he engages with community leaders on a daily basis in relation to service delivery and basic human rights in our community. He's motivated my family and many others to get involved as well and find ways to serve our communities. And this is a trend I see with educators because that passion that you inherently have for the interests of the nation and for the students that have been under your care, you automatically apply that same interest afterwards even to continue serving the community once you're retired. My mom, who's here today, has always been a driving force for my brothers and I. She was a star academically when she was at school and university, and she instilled the same ambition in her children. Education was a non-negotiable for us growing up. We knew that we not only had to pursue tertiary education, but also that we had to excel at every step of the way. My mom facilitated that, and she ensured our success in every way she could. This is not going to be a new story to all of you sitting here. I think you all are aware of what women in particular go through on a daily basis. My mom would wake up hours before the rest of us to make our lunch and get us all ready for school. She then drove us to school, had a full work day herself. She was the HOD of languages at the high school she taught at. And then she'd rush back to drive us to extra tuition classes. While we were at class, she'd go home, cook dinner, come back for us, sometimes doing that multiple times a day because my brothers and I attended different classes at different locations, and then get us home for dinner and prepare for the next day. Not to mention carting us to our extracurricular activities, doing fundraising to support our international trips, managing a household, raising children, juggling being a supportive daughter, wife, friend, colleague, and mentor personally. I remember that my mom would go to the extent of finding uniforms and shoes for learners at school that were less fortunate and couldn't afford them. She'd get donors to sponsor learners' school fees. She'd herself pack extra lunches for students who were surviving off one meal a day or less. It still boggles my mind how my mom and so many other women continue doing this, how much you've accomplished and you still do for your family on a daily basis. My mom has former learners reaching out to her regularly to thank her for setting them on the right path, influencing them to be better people, teaching them with passion and with perseverance, and serving as a second mother to them. I don't know if all of these amazing women in the audience truly appreciate how much you've influenced the lives of your students, how many of them truly feel that you were a mother to them, that you saw them in a way that their families didn't see them. My mom is still involved in community outreach, and she frequently donates as well to child welfare, gift of the givers, and other worthy causes. And of course, she still manages our household and continues cooking like a Michelin star chef. I also learned the importance of punctuation from my mom, who was an English teacher. For example, and pay attention to the pauses. A woman without her man is nothing, versus a woman without her man is nothing. Yeah? Punctuation. Women are truly the foundation of society. Women like all of you and my mother, who not only raise future generations, but also educate them and take a vested interest in their well-being, and our success are rare gems. We should be appreciating you. We should be celebrating you. Unfortunately, it seems like more often than not, you're instead taken for granted. In their role as educators, for example, women are subject to severe resource constraints, discrimination, and sometimes even harassment and violence. I've spoken at length about how phenomenal, inspiring, and life-changing educators can be, but let us not ignore the many trials that they face as well. The environment in which educators are expected to not only perform their jobs, but also continue mentoring and guiding learners outside of their subject matter expertise has become more challenging and, in fact, dangerous. There are too many incidents of violence in schools, attacks against educators, and poor facilities and resources. And of course, whenever a class underperforms or students display poor behavior, society immediately directs the blame at the educators. Despite all of that, educators are constantly striving for a better future of the nation. They are creating future world leaders, business people, social workers, doctors, scientists, athletes, lawyers, philosophers, artists, entertainers, tradesmen, more teachers, and the list goes on. While some people think it's easy, the role of a teacher is extremely challenging and equally critical to the functioning of the world. It's their responsibility to impart the correct knowledge and in the correct manner. For example, they have to teach methodically, for which they prepare their lessons beforehand, so they can motivate their students, but through the use of accurate techniques. A good teacher gives homework to the students, but also checks it regularly. They plan meticulously for a better teaching pattern. At the beginning of the year, they plan the whole syllabus out for a smooth teaching experience. In addition to teaching, a teacher is also a good organizer. You have to organize various activities that take place in school throughout the year and keep the classroom organized. Then you've got to take care of other important little things like seating arrangements, classroom activities, and more. You supervise tasks and activities in school like attendance at class, sports day, and also monitoring behavior and mental health. You're responsible for maintaining discipline and decorum of students. Most importantly, teachers essentially guide students every step of the way. They have to make sure they don't favor a specific student and give equal attention to all, but at the same time decide how to divide your attention towards students who need it more than others. Knowing your subject matter is also not enough. In our rapidly evolving world of information and technology, educators must remain up to date on advancements, trends, new information that's churned out at an alarming rate, and understanding the short and often unbelievable ways of communication that young people utilize. You also need to understand the landscape of social media and other sources of influence, and be aware of career tricks in order to identify potential in your learners and advise them appropriately. It's a daunting task. It may be why we're seeing greater disinterest from newer educators who don't view the profession as a calling anymore, but merely a means to an end. But fear not, I think the hardest thing for an educator is actually trying to understand a student's handwriting. I personally believe it would be of great service not only to the profession, but to the nation at large for retired educators such as yourselves to continue serving as mentors for not only learners, but importantly for other educators who are demotivated or simply new and finding their feet. Your contributions are immeasurable, and you could continue changing lives as well as keep yourselves occupied and motivated during your retirement. My mom shared a funny pie chart with me recently, showing the activities that make up a retired person's day. It was about 10% eating, 10% sleeping, 10% cooking, 10% gardening, 10% reading and scrolling through social media. The remaining 50%, searching for things you had in your hand just a minute ago. But on a serious note, I've seen so many educators retire but feel as though they've lost their purpose or bored after that initial period of rest. Their health often declines significantly as well. It's essential to keep your body and your mind busy and engaged during your retirement. My request, after seeing my parents go through this as well, is consider getting involved in clubs, community activities, dance classes, mentoring programs for junior educators, pottery, painting, fitness activities, anything that really sparks a passion, something you've always wanted to try but never had the time to do. The work done by art, for example, is a perfect illustration of that. It's so wonderful to see you all get together, dress up, you all look amazing, spend this time together on fun social activities and just reconnect with your colleagues. I truly hope the association continues growing in size and strength. I mentioned earlier that physical fitness is one of my father's passions. He says he's achieved his life purpose now that I'm going to the beach with him on a weekly basis to do an 8-kilometer walk. I mean, that's very sad that that was his life's purpose, but something he wasted his whole life for. It's something I've seen in other educators as well who've tried to maintain a balance throughout their lives between work, home, and personal goals. Starting off simple with a walk outside, perhaps a park or the beachfront, it does wonders for your moods and your holistic well-being. It also motivates young people like us who are striving to maintain that balance in our lives when we see our role models engaging in these simple activities. Whatever your interests are, I hope you all truly enjoy your retirement and make the most of your time as a free agent. To the women in particular, I truly hope you finally start putting yourselves first, that you engage in self-care, that you discover what interests and motivates you personally, outside of the multitude of other roles that you fill in your life. Before I leave, since you're all retired, I can finally give you some inside information about why the dog always ate our homework. It's entirely your fault. It's because you said it was a piece of cake. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Zia. I will make a few comments in a moment, but right now I'd like to call Ragini to just hand over a little token of appreciation from the art family to you for making this time this morning to come and share those beautiful, beautiful sentiments to this amazing group of women. Thank you once again, Zia. There was so much that Zia said that was heartwarming and a reminder. I know some of us here have left the profession a while ago. I just left in January, but as she was speaking, it felt to me almost as if a movie was playing in my mind of the kinds of things that happened in my life over the 35 years that I was in the classroom. I think also it was a very sobering reminder of the kind of impact we have had in the world. And I want to remind you that the impact we have, all of us collectively, male and female, the impact we have as educators, it never goes away. It stays in the world even when we are 6 feet under. Because to educate a child is to educate the world. You leave that impact on a child who leaves that impact on their child and the child that comes after and after. So no matter what you've done, good and bad, by the way, that lives forever. That lives forever. I'm sure you've all had this experience. You've met a kid that you've taught a long time ago and they've said to you, you know, ma'am or sir, you said that on that day. And you're thinking, I said that? I don't remember. You know, it was something you say and do every day. For you, you were doing your job. But on that particular day, it was the most significant thing you could have said and done for that child. You were just doing your job. But it made all the difference in the world for that particular child. The stories Zia was saying about her mother is the story about you and me. You know, you found that pair of shoes for some child in your class. You found that uniform for the girl whose uniform was torn or too short because her parent had lost his job or her job and they couldn't buy a new uniform that year. So I want you today to celebrate the amazing woman you was, the mother you was to all of those children who needed you when you were in the classroom. And remember, what a significant difference you have made in the world. You've left the profession many, many years, but the profession has not left you because what you have done in the world will remain in the world forever. There was something else that Zia said at the very beginning of the speech, and I want to say it now in the name of full disclosure, and I was thinking about it as I was standing there. You know, I'm a very good actress, not Bollywood, Hollywood, South Indian all the way. You know, she said something about intimidated. Guys, standing here, I'm feeling very intimidated. You all remember that day long, long ago for some of you, not so long ago for some of us. You know, the first year of teaching, when like that subject advisor comes to class or that inspector, they want to make you permanent, right? Right? So usually it's the teacher, me here in front, class full of children. Do you know what it feels like to me? It feels like teacher, 100 subject advisors and inspectors giving me a crit. So again, please, when you're talking about me after this event, write nice things, say nice things, because I told you I'm launching a new career. I'm going to be MC. I want all of you to say, my 30th birthday party, Nalini, can be the MC. Or my 21st birthday party next week, Nalini, can be the MC. All right? So only nice things, people. Play nice. I'm a small girl. Don't break my heart so quickly. Be nice. Okay. So, we are here to honor the women, past and present. You heard me earlier on say that it is important to remember those that went before us. I am a firm believer that nothing grows without good roots. We have to have strong roots in order to have strong branches and strong leaves. And I think that especially in our community, we have to fight very hard now to keep our roots strong. And I know that in this room, there are many women fighting to keep our roots strong. We are fighting for our culture, for our customs, for our traditions, and that is such an amazing thing to do. We are honoring women also who have been trailblazers. The famous Spanish poet, Machado Antonio, some of you may have heard of him, wrote, "Walker, there is no path. You make the path by going." And there are some women in this room who are making the path where there has been no path before. And today we want to acknowledge two of those women. In recent weeks, one of the amazing women in the art family has made waves in the Chatsworth community. After many years of serving as an educator and serving in various organizations, religious, welfare, community, serving tirelessly and consistently, her efforts have been recognized, and she was inducted as the president of the Chatsworth Rotary Club. And as her art family, we are super proud of this achievement. It is not often that females have been given the opportunity to sit in this chair. And Cogie Muthulingam, we are so very proud that you take the seat this year. And we say to you that we are here to support you. We will reach our hand out to you when and if you ask. Please come forward and receive a little gift that says, "Well done, sister. You go, girl." Ragini, will you please come forward and make the presentation? Okay, we got a little bit of fun coming up now. So I've got a very special question. It's a level 5 CAPS document question. So I'll give you a moment. Think about the level 5 questions and what they ask you to do. Right? All of you remember CAPS document level 5. Think out of the box. Also think about the poem I read earlier on, and here's the question, and there's a prize to be won. And the question is, who is the most beautiful girl in this room? Take a moment. No, take a moment. I told you it's a level 5 question. Lateral thinking, out of the box. Right? Look around, be careful. Remember, I'm the boss girl. So think carefully before you answer this question. Who is the most beautiful girl in this room? I'm not giving any hints. If you need to call a friend, I've got a few minutes of airtime on my phone. You can consult with the person next to you. Yes, somebody's got their hand up? Yes. It's yourself? I am. Yay! Wonderful. I am. Ragini, will you give her the gift, please? So the correct English answer is the girl in the mirror, but I am will do. Wonderful. So Juliet is getting ready to come forward now. Okay, whilst we are waiting for Juliet to get ready to entertain us, I'm going to move on to the next item on our program. As I said, we are celebrating women of power, women of steel, women of grit. Cogie Muthulingam is not the only one. We have another woman amongst us who for many, many years has been showing her resilience, her grit. To tell us more about that, I would like to call our very own Paul. I don't see him. Where is he? Oh, here we go. The handsome Mr. Paul. Oh, I heard I should be saying what? I hear it. Oh, our very own ladies man, Paul. Look at him strut his stuff. Whoa, whoa. Did you see him the other day in his sari? That was so gorgeous. I am going to invite him. The next time I have an event and I'm wearing a sari, Paul is going to come help me drape it. He does an exceptionally good job. Come on forward, Paul. Thank you. He's going to introduce us to our next honorary lady for this morning. Thank you, Paul.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor and privilege to address you on this auspicious occasion, that is the Women's Day celebration. We have heard a great deal in general about women, but today I am going to tell you a little more about a special woman in our organization, that is none other than our President, Tammy Naidoo. Tammy Naidoo was elected President of ART on the 22nd of May 2011 at a biennial general meeting held at Tamanna Lodge in Aberdeen. It was a day of outing for our members as well as meeting and election of office bearers. Since then, she has immersed herself gradually in the service of the organization. She, together with the cooperation of our dedicated executive members, has steered the organization to new heights. Today, ART is one of the few organizations so actively involved in the social affairs of retired teachers, and we are truly proud of that. Our president has served the organization for 12 long years and is still going strong. Tammy is an epitome of devotion, a great stalwart who believes in perfection. Thoroughness is a key word. Her devotion to duty is so intense that I'm certain that she thinks of art even when she's eating, drinking, walking, sleeping, and I think best thoughts come in a way. She works tirelessly and relentlessly, delegating duties to members who accomplish them. Our president is a true embodiment of strength, resilience, and unwavering determination. Some members may feel that she is too demanding, but to get things done with perfection, she does what needs to be done. She goes out of her way to see that members are comfortable. I remember the time when we were having problems with the Karwastan Civic Association. She took the onus upon herself to find a suitable venue. She succeeded in acquiring the Sangam Hall in Cogie Avenue. We had a few meetings there, but the place was too small. She did not rest there, but went further and was able to get this present venue. She is still aspiring to get a bigger venue. Because of the large number, she has an eye on the main horse. With her diplomacy, dedication and perseverance, I am certain that she would succeed. Her achievements have set a precedent for excellence and ignited a flame of hope within each of us. We are proud to stand alongside her, celebrating her remarkable journey and the profound impact she has made. Our President is a loving, caring, compassionate person who carries herself with great pride and dignity. She is always well attired and has become an inspiration to other members. But sometimes her attire surpasses that of an octogenarian. It is very difficult to find such an inspiring and hard-working individual. May your accomplishments continue to inspire the future generations, and your legacy serve as a testament to the future leaders of art. On behalf of all the members of art, I wish you good health, peace, and lots of love. We salute you for your service and upliftment of art. To all the members, have a happy and enjoyable Women's Day celebration. With these words, I would like to hand over to our Deputy President, Mr. George Madare, who may say a few words and hand over his token of appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. Today is a great day for me because I have been serving this association for many, many years, and together with Tammy, we were elected. Tammy was elected president, and I was elected deputy president. We served this organization, still serving this organization with dedication. But in all those years, ladies and gentlemen, I have never come across someone like Tammy. Honestly, I haven't. She has been a real pain.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I didn't expect good pain.
Okay. You know, I cannot count the number of my breakfasts that have been spoiled.
Just like
Tammy had an uncanny knack of following me, you know, when I'm just about to have my toast. And you know, with toast, you cannot leave it for a while, or it gets soggy. But nevertheless, I enjoyed my interaction with Tammy all those years. And she has served this organization like no other person. And it is for this reason that we've decided to honor Tammy. And I'm sure all of you would agree with me that she deserves this honor that we are about to bestow on her. my pleasure to call Tammy to the podium so that I can hand over. Come, Tammy. Association of Retired Teachers, presented in appreciation of your dedication, commitment and contribution in the service and upliftment of the Association of Retired Teachers. See, it also got a quotation at the bottom. The greatest of achievements are those that benefit others. And Tammy has worked selflessly for our benefit. So Tammy, please accept this. Could all of you please rise?
Good morning to each and every one of you. I really didn't expect this. After all, I'm a very simple person. I'm here to serve you. I love each and every one of you present here. You make my day, you make my life. I am a pain like my little George to anybody else. If I want a thing done, it has to be done. No two ways about that. I am sure that is what my presentation today was about. Art and no one else. Because you, the people of art, have made my day and my life. After all, the women in art are born women. Women in the special sense. You, the women of art, were also little girls. You were adored by your parents. You were a little princess. You were recognized. You were special. Then you grew up to your mothers. They did everything for you. What little achievements you made in your life, your parents adored you for that. Whether you were in preschool, whether your achievements in school. As a little child, whether you said your first word, that was also growing up to be a woman. That was your roots. Then you grew up to be a little girl. And then a sister maybe. And then you married a man. Why did you fall in love? Why did that special person choose you? There must be something very special that he saw in each and every one of the women present here. Because you found a partner, a life partner, your soulmate, because he saw something that you were that special person, and he chose you. You were his queen, and he was your king. You made a life for yourselves, and you made it happen. You went through all the hardships, but you achieved it, because you were that special, privileged. You were proud of everything that you have done. Children, as a mother, you looked after many children, as a previous speaker has said this morning. That was your duty, but you did it so exemplary well. You didn't turn, you'll have no stone unturned to give the best to to your children. Whether you're a single parent, whether it was hard for you, whether you had so much, but you still did it. But in art, it's different. You are here to do what you have to do. You chose art. There must have been something good because we all came together. Today we are here. This is the highlight of my life, art. In art, we have 100 women, including Phyllis and Rini. We have the best of the best. That is you, each and every one of the women that are sitting here today. Why must I talk about somebody that I don't even know, that happened in past history, when I've got a special woman present right in front of me? You come from different backgrounds, you come from different culture, from different class, different stature, and different status as well, different morals and values, and different religion. But to me, you as a president, you are all one. We are all social, educated professionals, and we love each other. We've come here as a huge family. We are an extended family. We come here, we spend special times to be with one another and enjoy the best. I am one that preaches, maybe dictates sometimes, maybe make you feel angry. Please bear with me. Sometimes you have to do that in order to get things done. Otherwise, maybe we will go astray like little children. We don't want that. We are adults. There are members of art that, as a president, I appreciate each and every one of you. I welcome and thank you all, women. You, the precious ones, you are precious and you are one in a million. You are respected, women, for each and every one of you that are very special to me in art. You make it all happen, not forgetting the fine gentlemen, because you know, without their interference, we women will not be where we are. I thank you. Just a few commercial. The next meeting is on the 23rd of August. I'm preaching now, right? The next cookout is on the 6th of September. Please make note. It's on the 6th of September. And on the 13th of September is our get-together, Club 91.